Have you ever had issues with HMRC? Nah, I've had no issues with HMRC. I mean, I pay my taxes, you know. I pay my taxes. But one thing I had to do with HMRC, this is a classic example of robbing Peter to pay Paul. Or in my instance, not paying Peter to pay Paul. So boom. Obviously, the first house that I lived at, you know, where you lot are used to seeing me shoot my videos, I mean, it was always just a white wall behind me. Sometimes the door was open, sometimes the door was closed, sometimes the bin was in the shop, sometimes the bin wasn't in the shop, yeah? So when I was at that house, the house next door came available for sale. Yeah, I was randomly on Zoopla, just checking. I see the estate that I live on, like the name of the estate. I'm like, right, where's this random property? Like, I was just being nosy in that. I'm like, hold on a minute, that's fucking next door. But there was no sign outside to say that it was for sale and that. So I was thinking, fuck, this is awkward, because the person that lives next door, I had to stick it on them, like blast it on them, yeah? And I'm not talking about the people that I ran up on and beat them up. No, there was a new person that moved in, tried to come knock my door about, oh, I'm parking in their space. Yo, man, right, move your blood clot. Don't come back to this house talking about I'm parking in your parking space. Are you mad? I was going nuts. Nadia was there as well. She just shook her head like, nah, Jay, man, you handled that really wrong. Nah, not knocking this door, blood. Yeah. Anyway, the house has come for sale. I'm thinking, fuck. Like, but you know, me, I have to swallow my pride in that, yeah. So I went knocking on the guy's door. Yeah. Now remember, the last time I had an interaction with this guy, I blasted him, moving mad. Yeah, mad, yeah. So I had to knock the door now and just swallow my pride and say, listen, misunderstanding. I got a temper. I don't like people knocking on my door. Yeah. Talking about no parking space. Bullshit, yeah. So anyway, he shook my hand, cool, boom. So I'm like, yeah, basically, I want to buy the property. That's the whole reason why I went there. Yeah? Other than that, yo, we still wouldn't have spoke up to this day. If that house never came up for sale, I would not have spoke to him. So anyway, he told me the price. So I think I negotiated the price. It's like $5 off or something like that. I can't remember. So yeah, boom. Yeah, want to buy this property now. Yeah, cool. So at the time, so basically, I bought the house for like 205,000, I think. Yeah. So I had like 20 grand in my account at the time. Now, this was in September. In September of 2024, I had 20 grand in my account. But I'm anticipating that, because I know HMRC, they want 10 grand or 8 grand from me in corporation tax. I owe them 8 grand at the end of October. So really and truly, if you got 20 grand today and you know you owe a man 8 grand, you in effect got 12 grand, really and truly, yeah? So I'm like, shit, I owe them 8 grand in a month and a half, whatever, and that. Plus, I'm anticipating paying HMRC self-assessment tax 10 grand in January. So as it stands today, I've got 20 grand, I owe a man 8, and I owe a next man 10. Yeah. So I'm basically 18 grand down at some point. Obviously, I'm going to be working in that time and saving, but still, what would most people do? They will think, boy, I've got 20 grand. I don't really want to be taking on a new property, knowing that I probably even going to have the money for it to put down as this deposit. Fuck it, I'll pull out of the sale. Well, that's what the normal person will do. I'm Jay Wizzy Wow, yeah? So I'm like, fuck it. Boom. So what I did was I phoned that HMRC and I said, listen, I want to pay you lot in installments. I'll pay you like 1,300 a month or something. I can't remember, something like that, yeah? This is the corporation tax. I said, all right, okay, cool. What can you give now? So I'll give you a grand now, yeah? Boom. So I gave them a grand now at that time. Then I'm paying like 1,300 or whatever in it for the next whatever. So these times, man's on a tight budget, yeah. And like the maddest thing is as well, yeah. I'm at my mum's house, and my mum said, "Oh, there's a letter here from you, yeah, for you, some brown letter." I'm like, "Oh." I checked it. HMRC are saying, "Oh, you know you owe us £3 from like 6 months ago that you didn't pay." I'm like, "Fuck." Do you know what? Yeah, it was one of those ones, yeah. Like when you're tight for money and some mad bill comes, most people will be like, "Fuck, abort mission." Do you know what? I just laughed. I laughed. I was like, "Oh my god, this has come at the wrong time." Anyway, I paid it off. So these times, man's down to like 14 grand or something, because obviously there are other things to pay for in that. Remember, when you're going through like the mortgage process and that, the solicitor wants to see proof of funds and that. I managed to scrape enough money together to show that I've got 20 grand in my account ish. Yeah. The next thing you know, man's down to like 15 grand. Yeah? Boom. Months are going past and that. Next thing you know is January. Yeah. I'm thinking, yo, HMRC want 10 grand. These times in my account, I probably got about 20 grand because I'm still able to save up and that. What I did was in that time is I phoned up my manager and I said, "Listen, my manager at work, I said, listen, I got some mad bills to pay. I need to work on the weekends. Can you sort me out some weekend work?" And you can bet every Friday I was on the phone like, "Yo, where's the work for tomorrow? Because you lot are not in. So if I don't get the work tonight, which is Friday night, I ain't gonna have no work tomorrow. And tomorrow is £500. I need that money. I need it." Yeah. So I was working weekends like 6, 7, 8 weeks straight. Man was earning big money as well. 2,400, 2,800 was the most I got paid in 1 week, you know. But other than that, I was getting paid like 2,500 a week. Yeah. I was almost shitting on the Holborn job. Yeah. So I was just working them Saturdays and whatever and that. And then obviously January's come now. I'm anticipating owing them like 10 grand for self-assessment corporation, self-assessment tax, personal tax. But it was actually 5 grand, which lifted a little bit of weight off my shoulders and that. And yeah, literally, like I said, like I was just basically not paying Peter to pay Paul. With HMRC, because I owed them 5 grand, I said, "Listen, I ain't got the money right now to pay in full, but I can pay you 1,500 a month for the next 4 months. Can we do that?" And they said, "Yeah." And that's how I was able to buy the next house. Most people, if in September they got 20 grand and they want to use that to put down as a deposit for a property, and then you know, they know that they got some big tax bills coming up, not look at 1, 2 grand. No, they got to pay 8 grand and they anticipating 10 grand. They'll say abort mission. Now, JOYs will find a way to make that fucking work. As long as I've got enough time. Now, obviously, if they say, "Oh yeah, you need to pay us 18 grand next month," and I've only got 20 grand this month, well, it's not going to work. But if I've got enough time, I will find a way. Yeah. This is the difference between me and other people. Other people would have been like, "No, fuck this bullshit, man. It's too risky. I'm gonna take that risk." Yeah. And then people will sit there scratching their head like, "Oh, how comes this guy's got so much properties?" Because I'm willing to take those risks. I guarantee you, if you lined up 1,000 people that was in my position, they would say, "Nah." And the thing is, I didn't even need to buy that property. I just bought it strictly out of ego. I want that house. Yeah. That's the only reason why I bought that property. If that property wasn't next door and it was number 47, 4 blocks down, I would have left it. I wouldn't have given a fuck. But because it was next door, I want that house. Yeah, I'm getting that house. And the way that guy did fucking mess me around as well, boy.